We'll come back to more stories on that strike, but first let's look at this item. The National Assembly Energy Committee is proposing a review of the many levies imposed on fuel to help cushion Kenyans from the high cost of living. Speaking during a tour of Kisumu, the committee members said that the 80 shillings per litre of fuel should be revised for a period of time to help stabilize fuel prices that have skyrocketed above 210 shillings a litre, making life way too costly for most Kenyans. Meanwhile, normalcy was observed in Kisumu City, with transport operators advocating for dialogue. Weekly for Cage is our man on that Kisumu story.
The highest retail prices for petroleum products ever, a development that has left motorists, public transport stakeholders and Kenyans in general wondering. Apart from the landed cost, local levies imposed on the products have escalated the price at the pump beyond the reach of many Kenyans.
People are not traveling because they are so much oppressed to the extent that the fares that were added, they cannot afford it. That's why we are now appealing to the government to look into it, so that our people may not be oppressed anymore. We are oppressed to the extent that we cannot exist.
The levies include an 8% value-added tax charged at 24.36 shillings on every litre of petrol and 17.85 shillings per litre of diesel. Other levies include road maintenance levy, excise duty, import declaration fee, petroleum regulatory levy, railway development levy, and anti-adulteration levy. Put together, the levies constitute a combined average of 80 shillings of every litre of fuel retailing in Kenya. The National Assembly Energy Committee, however, says the government needs to increase subsidy on petroleum products to cushion Kenyans from further pump pain.
We are very clear. Kenyans must be cushioned on that price. Because if you allow fuel to go out of reach, everything will be expensive. So we are the taxpayers, the economy is ours, we are the people paying tax. The government must accept to subsidize fuel so that Kenyans can afford it. That one, there is no shortcut.
The committee further says revising levies imposed on petroleum products is beyond it and must be considered by the whole House once it resumes from the ongoing recess.
When we reopen back, we look into it and see that the levies that are there, those ones that we can look at and say that maybe they can be done away so that the fuel can be, the price for fuel can be reasonable, then we look into it.
Meanwhile, Kisumu town experienced calmness on a day that public transport stakeholders across the country staged protests against the hike in fuel prices.
Today we are happy with our members of the public because we are now moving from a violent scenario to a peaceful and more dialogue scenario.
We decided not to go the violent way. As Kisumians, we are trying much we can so that we have a discussion where we don't even give space for those bad people to intrude in the industry.
The leadership of Matatu Owners Association in Kisumu championed a dialogue between transport stakeholders and the government to resolve the fuel price crisis.
We know it is a global issue, but as a country we can also sit down and reduce some levies that had already been put on the fuel so that at least we get some relief in terms of the fuel.
Those VATs, those many things, the 16%, it came to 13%, and it was somewhere slightly around 8%. We want those things, the road maintenance levies, those levies, many levies, we say that we need to, they need to be released.
Reporting for Channel 1 from Kisumu County, I am Wycliffe Okech.